you go.
Put a disclaimer up there and say, at times, internet connection may
Yeah,
be lost.
maybe
redial
spotty.
back. in.
Right.
Yeah. It should automatically come up for her.
It'll come back up for her, the person involved.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
it goes
so
down, it'll pop up on their screen.
just like it popped up here, it should pop up for her too.
Oh, it's logged back in. And for internet, like that.
Or
Wait till we get that Blue Ridge pipe, never gonna go down.
Oh, well,
I'm jealous, you got a
I got
letter.
my letter today, I got my letter in the mail today telling me they're gonna be in my neighborhood.
Oh.
To be
They didn't
prepared.
tell you when, though.
No, they don't. So they were here 6 months ago and said they were gonna start sending letters out, so there's progress.
I'll send you this out.
Want to resume the meeting?
One thing left,
Yeah, we got only a few things left.
2 things.
Well, we're up to letter H.
All right, so we're appointing a representative and alternate. I don't wanna be involved either way,
You don't want to be an alternate?
no,
All right,
no.
Well, I make a motion to table this for further discussion.
I would make a motion to appoint myself as the representative to the Monroe County Association of Township Officials with the other 2 supervisors as alternates. And that is because at the first meeting that we had to rejuvenate this organization, I was the first vice president at the time. And you spoke out against the organization, which now exists.
No, I didn't speak out against the organization at all. What I had said that it would be more beneficial to combine it with the Pocono Mountain Council of Governments, because it's basically the same people, it's the same supervisors and or township officials. Because of this, falling apart, whatever it was, 4 or 6 years ago, it fell apart. It would be just as easy to meet as the COG and then also as Uncada. I didn't speak out against it by any stretch.
But none of the other 20 municipalities in Monroe County agreed with
Yeah,
that.
they did. They were sitting right here in that.
They did not agree with
Yeah, they
it.
did.
They did not agree with,
I can call Buddy Buzzard and,
you can, we just voted on the bylaws.
well, I mean, I motion to table it. If you want to discuss it now, I'm happy to,
We
but
can
we had a
discuss it.
meeting back last year, June or August, I think it was. The initial meeting,
It was, yes,
right? And then we were gonna have a follow-up meeting and that never occurred,
no, it did.
or I wasn't notified of it.
Everyone was notified.
I was
We
not
had,
notified.
we had several follow-up
And then there
meetings.
was a meeting here in this building that didn't even make it to our calendar.
It was an outside organization, and Jennifer Shakaitis, who sits on COG, announced this at your very meeting and said that this was
It
happening.
wasn't even on the calendar. I didn't know where the meeting was or anything. How is everything in the township makes it to the calendar except that meeting?
It wasn't a township meeting.
Doesn't matter.
The COG meetings don't make it to the township.
It seems,
So,
it
look,
seems, I mean,
at
I
the
wasn't
end- at the-
notified of the meeting
At the end
and
of
it
it,
wasn't, and it didn't make it to the calendar, so it seems a little bit,
there
Oh.
were several meetings to work on the bylaws for it. Everyone was aware of that. Everyone,
then if you could forward me the emails where everyone was notified. I'll be happy to agree with you, but I can tell you, I have no emails about this since last June or whatever that first meeting was. I think it was June 13th, as a matter of fact.
so there were several meetings because it took several meetings to work on the bylaws. Everyone was notified.
Who?
All of the municipalities were
Everyone that was
notified.
at the first meeting,
Yes,
and including myself.
Yes, and it was also, we also attended COG meetings and mentioned it at COG meetings. I mentioned it at the ones I went
How
to.
many? how many
And
did you have?
Jennifer mentioned it at the last COG meeting that she was at. So
I think you're stretching the truth a bit, and I think.
there is none,
Well, again, I made a motion to table this, I don't know if there's a second.
I'll second that.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Is there any public comment?
I have
Anyone?
one.
Yes, ma'am.
The snow cleanup on 209, why is it so horrendous?
That's PennDOT.
And that?
Yep.
And so we don't give any money to them to clean, right?
No,
Okay.
no,
So we need to bring that up to them, because I had a flight that came in on Sunday morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was praying that the flight would land in Newark, which it did.
right,
8 was fine, but to get to 209 was horrendous. And my driver had a difficult time just to bring me right to Reserve of the Pond. So it's not like I was going through any back roads or
Right.
anything, it was 209. That needs to be cleaned up. We made it nice and beautiful. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep the road
Yeah.
visible so people can come through
Right.
it.
I mean, that is considered a secondary road for PennDOT, but,
But it's our primary road
Oh,
throughout this whole
agreed.
area.
Oh, I agree.
So we need
Right.
to kind of get under their skin and let them know that,
agreed.
you know, it's unsafe for the residents
Right.
here.
But I mean, just so you're aware, that's why one of the reasons, I should say, that we embarked on changing all the township road signs to blue.
Mhm.
So residents and visitors will know what's a township road and what's a state road.
Yeah, I
So-
see that you made.
So 209 is bright green. We're blue,
So I guess some letters to PennDOT will help.
hopefully, hopefully. I know that they're shorthanded. I mean, I can't, berate them too much. I know it's tough with the amount of miles they have to cover
Mhm.
and being short-staffed. They are here later than us, they start later than us, onto the secondaries.
Mhm.
But when they do a decent job. It's just a matter of timing wise.
Mhm.
We'd all prefer to be more timely, but most often than not, it doesn't.
Oh, and to add the insult to misery, but now we got an email just this week that they're running out of rock salt.
Well, that's spurred, and Channel 13 likes this stuff. PennDOT sent out a letter to all the municipalities saying that they would not have excess salt to give to municipalities, but they never did. So it's this big story that, PennDOT's running out of salt and they're not gonna give salt to municipalities. They never did. I mean, PennDOT has enough product. They have enough salt to get through this winter. They haven't even touched half of what they had.
Mhm.
I mean, I think they've used about 40% what they had in storage. We're fine with salt. We use salt in Clear Lane. That's why our roads are so much better. PennDOT won't use Clear Lane. And basically, they don't use Clear Lane because it's, cut that off, but I mean, it's less time that they have asked in the seat. You put more product down, the roads get clearer quicker, and you can all go home. Well, because of PennDOT and unions and, you gotta be on the truck 24 hours. So, but unfortunately, there's no story there. They're not running out of salt, and nor are we, so rest assured, you'll be fine for the rest of the season,
Thank you.
probably next season.
Feel better. We usually always have salt left
Yeah,
and we lather it pretty good, so.
I mean, granted, there probably is a shortage, because I think we were talking to Michelle during the week about it. I think that with the storms that happened down south, salt went down there. So maybe, if they can give us 100%, they can't give us 120% like they often could. That excess had to go down to the, Carolinas and Florida.
Where they had 1 to 2 inches of snow and they freaked out.
Correct, and they had no salt, they didn't know what to do. I mean, they're looking at, they're trying to rake up the snow, and it's not helping, so.
I think there are some shortages at the retail level. packaging wise.
Yeah, well, and I think because of you have these big users and big accounts that they have to supply to,
Mhm.
you know, so you don't have. Like American Rock Salt, they're not even taking phone calls, quite honestly. I know Tractor Supply doesn't have any salt, I know Lewis's doesn't have any salt. But-
They get it in, it goes right back out.
Yeah,
The other day,
Mhm.
Al came in, Al went out.
it'll melt though, rest assured. We won't be talking about it in June, so.
There you go. I'll let it
Anything else? Any other public comment or questions from anybody?
in. Talk about the meeting on Monday we were at, for the school board finance committee. We talked about
Okay.
Florida and all that, I think I sound like we were pretty well
Mhm.
received. From, you know, post conversations afterwards, so
Not good,
looking forward to seeing the outcome of that.
sure.
Hopefully give us that 10-year extension.
Okay, would you like to make your
Yeah,
motion to?
motion to adjourn.
Favorite?
Second.
Yeah. I'm tired, so I'll be coming to all of these meetings. Michael,
Yeah.
Annette,
Congratulations.
Nice to
Mark,
meet you.
Patrick, my name
And
is
your
Mary
name?
Clark.
Mary, nice to